Newport-Fersan in the field, real issues, real solutions, brought to you by Newport-Fersan, Jamaica, first on the land. And we are going to be having quite a bit of conversation this morning about onions and onion production, because that is something that is important. We have Irish potatoes and onions growing at this time of the year, and both they complement each other. So it is always a pleasure when we're able to engage in conversation about how it is that you make the best use of every opportunity presented to you to share in these kinds of conversations. And this morning, we are focusing our energies on onion production, the strategic approach. Joining us, Sajae Jones, agronomist, Manchester and St. Elizabeth with Newport-Fersan, Jamaica. This is Fersan in the Field, real issues, real solutions. Good morning, Sajae. How are you?
Good morning, Althea, and good morning, listeners. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good to have you on with us. So let me find out from you, Sajae, first of all, are there any environmental stress factors that cause global crop losses? Or I shouldn't put it that way. What are the main environmental stress factors? Because I believe we can all acknowledge that there are stress factors. But what are some of these stress factors that cause global crop losses? And how significant is the impact?
Well, global crop losses are mainly caused by environmental stresses such as drought, heat, flooding, soil salinity, and pests and disease. Drought and high temperatures can cause damage, reducing yields by 20 to 50%. This can be caused by the availability of water, of course, from the droughts. It can disrupt the plant growth and reduce pollination. Flooding can cause poor drainage and further encourage fungal growth, while salinity reduces the plant's ability to absorb water and nutrients. Together, these stresses increase the disease pressure and pose serious threats to global food security, particularly as climate change intensifies their effects.
And this then is true for all crops. So it doesn't matter what you're growing. These crops can't escape climate change, and we certainly can't either.
Definitely. These are true for all crops, and as all crops are situated in the same area. Mm-hmm. So the same thing that affects crop A can affect crop B, though in a slightly different way, but they do all have detrimental effects to each crop.
Yes, and immediately my mind goes to thrips. I know that there has been a significant proliferation of these kinds of insects in recent times. It is actually crazy when you stop to think about how it is that these are producing and reproducing and impacting scores and scores of crops.
Definitely. Thrips is becoming and is already a major threat. And I remember just before the hurricane last year, where a significant increase was seen in the leafhopper population and even the soil production. So it is becoming more and more evident where climate change is affecting the crops.
Wow. All right, I want to touch a little bit then on the whole issue of land preparation, because to my mind, the way that people go about preparing their land, what they add in that land preparation period, how it is that they prepare the land is critical. And remember now that I'm not the agronomist, so I don't even know if what I'm saying makes sense, but I'm certainly thinking that it must have a direct impact on the quality of the crops that are produced.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. As land preparation forms the foundation for your production. Let's take 5 points just to get a little explanation into this. So as it regards to the onion, we have the stale bed, we have the soil structure and root development to think about, we have drainage and moisture, we have disease and pest reduction, and we have seedling establishment and uniformity. Now, when we think of the stale bed, we want to ensure that it is properly done, as the stale bed technique allows the weed germination before planting, then to be controlled, as it can be controlled through shallow cultivation, meaning weeding or non-residual methods. This significantly reduces early weed competition in onions, as onions are weak competitor during the seedling stage. It lowers the weed pressure, improving the nutrient availability and uptake of the plant. It increases the amount of water that the plant can get, the amount of light that's available to the plant, leading to a healthier bulb formation later on and better bulb size and uniformity. When you think of the soil structure, a well-prepared soil with fine tilt and friable structure promotes strong root development in onions, which have shallow and delicate root system. Good soil tilt also allows for the roots to spread easily, and you know that the greater the root mass is, the better the nutrient uptake and the anchorage of the plant. Compacted soils restrict the growth of the root, resulting in poor bulb formation and reduced yields. When we want to think of drainage and moisture, now we want to think about the proper land shaping, such as raising of beds in well-leveled field improves drainage and prevents waterlogging. Onions are highly sensitive to moisture, which can cause a suffocation of the bulb, resulting in rot. After a set time, well-prepared soil holds adequate moisture for steady growth, supporting uniform bulb development and reducing stress. We can also look at the disease and pest reduction, as effective land preparation reduces disease and pest pressure, improving aeration in the soil and drainage, which discourages fungal pathogens such as the damping off or the basal rot, removing crop residues and improving soil conditions also reduces the habitat for pests and soil-borne pathogens, leading to a healthier crop. So these all fall in the tenet of land preparation. And also you have the seedling, the benefits that it gives to seedling establishment, as a well-leveled seedbed also ensures that there is uniform depth and good soil to seed contact, resulting in an even germination and strong seedling establishment. So as I said before, the land preparation is the foundation for the crop establishment, and it will carry through the entire crop cycle, the land preparation aspect.
I get from what you're saying that poor land preparation can lead to poor yield.
Definitely.
Poor crops. What about seed selection? How critical is that? What kind of challenges can one have if they don't select the right seeds?
Okay, seed selection. We can break that into three pieces. The day length and planting time, the disease resistance, and the germination. Now, onion varieties are very sensitive to day length, which controls the bulb initiation. The day length controls when the bulbs start to form. Now in Jamaica, we will plant the short day varieties, which is between 10 to 12 hours. Now this comes into mind when you think of when you actually plant onions, because there is a season. We typically try to plant it November to January thereabout, which allows for the establishment when the days are a bit shorter, the early establishment of the crop. Then as the days get longer now, going February on, then that will help with the triggering of the bulb formation. So if you plant it down in February, then you won't get the proper bulb formation. So you select the short day seeds and you plant it at the right time. Right? Planting it later will inhibit the growth of the crop. When you think of disease resistance, and we're touching in a bit of IDM now, where you want to choose the onion seed which is tolerant to the common diseases such as downy mildew or purple blotch, or the Physium basal rot, in order to improve crop performance and reduce the amount of incidence of disease that is in your field. You also want to choose a variety that has a high germination rate and good vigor, which encourages rapid establishment and development, uniform emergence, and also leads to a good plant establishment, which can then lead to good bulb sizes because they're planted properly at the right time.
Okay. So really it is very critical that you choose the right seeds. As far as fungal diseases are concerned, what are some of the major ones to look out for?
All right. So there are quite a few, but four of the major ones that you can look out for and should be looking out for are purple blotch, your downy mildew, pink rot, and the Physarum basal rot. Now, the purple blotch, it's a common foliar fungal disease in onion, especially under warm, humid condition. It can appear as small, water-soaked spots that enlarge into purple or brown lesions with yellow halos on the leaf. Severe infections can cause leaf dieback, reducing photosynthesis and resulting in small bulbs with lower yields. Now, the downy mildew develops under cool, moist conditions with high humidity or heavy dew. Symptoms include pale green to yellow patches on the leaves, followed by a grayish purple fungal growth. Infected leaves collapse quickly, weakening the plant and significantly reducing the bulb size and market yield. When it comes on to the pink rot, it's a soil-borne fungal disease favored by high soil temperatures. It affects the roots, causing them to turn pink, reddish purple, and eventually die. This limits the amount of water and nutrient uptake as it affects the roots, leading to stunted plants, poor bulb development, and an increased susceptibility to drought stress.
Okay.
The Physarum basal rot is another serious soil-borne disease in onion. The common in warm climates. It causes yellowing and wilting of the leaves and rotting of the basal bulb.
Okay. And so farmers really have to look out for these kinds of issues. So having said that, we do know that some farmers they face some serious challenges, and I often wonder why, because there's a lot of information that exists out there. Why do some farmers fail to get the expected yield, even when they are using fertilizers? For example, are there other issues that they are not focusing on?
Definitely. Just application of fertilizers, as I often tell farmers, the application of fertilizer does not mean that the plant has received or is able to access the fertilizer. So having it there doesn't mean that the plant is able to use it. And there are a few things that can affect that. And not only that, but putting on a fertilizer and the plant is able to uptake it, even in the case of onion, does not mean that the plant is using it efficiently or to the best use. So you want to look at 3 points here: your soil pH, incorrect blend selection, and then we'll just touch on what we like to call the 4 R's.
Right.
So pH, soil pH, what it is, it's basically a scale that ranges from 0 to 14, and this speaks to how well a plant can access the different nutrients. So 16 of them: macros, micros, and secondary macros.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for most plants, they access nutrients best between 5.5 and 6.5. Now, if the pH is too high, then your micros won't be able to be accessed by the plant. And if it is too low, then the macros won't be able to be accessed properly by the plant. And that's why we say that we want to keep it in the slightly acidic range of 5.5, 6.5. Now, when it is within this range, then it can now access both macros and micros at a fairly even rate. Why is this important? Let's look at nitrogen, as we will think about that for more than one of the points. So, the nitrogen, if the pH is high, then it can easily access nitrogen, but if it is too low, then it won't be able to easily access nitrogen, and then magnesium now won't be accessed when it's too high. And magnesium forms a central part of the chlorophyll molecule. So even though you have the nitrogen, you don't have the magnesium, then the nitrogen can't be properly used by the plant. Now this is why we say that you want to ensure that it is there. So even when you apply the fertilizer, if you don't have the correct balance in terms of your pH, then it would be a waste of time, for want of a better term, to go out and apply fertilizers, or a waste of money to go out and apply fertilizers. You need to ensure that your soil is within the correct range. When we think of incorrect blend selection, we can think of nitrogen again. And there's a problem in onions when you apply nitrogen fertilizers too late in the season and it's thick neck. Now we can see where soil pH affects this, and we can see where the timing affects it. So we already go through two parts of the 4 R's: the right source and the right time. Mm-hmm. Now the right rate of it can also be taken into consideration, as applying too much nitrogen fertilizers, whether it be late or early, can cause problem. Applying too much of it early can soften the tissues, as that will encourage rapid growth, and then this will allow for fungal diseases to take root quite easily in it. So we already went through the 3 of them, and then the right place now, you know where you apply it through the beds, whether it will be through the drip system, you can apply it there, and it will go to the roots of the crop. So we went through the 4 R's of nutrient management right there.
Very important. All right, we're going to bring in our farmers now, because as they always say, Sajae, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So we have joining us Ramon Rowe out of St. Thomas. Ramon, good morning. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing? Ramon? Yeah, you are sounding very distant. Let us try to see if we can fix that. Alexia Williams is also with us. Alexia, good morning. Alexia? Alexia, oi. All right. Not sure what is going on with them. Ramon sounds as if he had put down the phone. He's hearing us, trying to fix that, and we're not hearing Alexia at all. All right, let us try to see if we can get them on again. Alexia?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you on with us. And Ramon?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Very, very good. All right, Alexia, let me start with you. I understand that you have been using the product Spectra in your field. What changes have you observed after the application of Spectra?
Well, I observed that the leaves are getting greener, and the issue that the guy told me that he found out that I have trips, and I was trying to use this Spectra. All my trips are gone, my field are clean, and everything are looking very nice.
All right. So the what you are discovering is that with all of the challenges that you have, if you are using the products that have been prescribed for you, you can overcome those challenges.
Yes.
All right. So that is very good. And what kinds of crops do you grow, by the way?
I grow onions.
Okay. So you're an onion farmer, and
yes.
St. Thomas is now known as onion capital. It's true, man. Yeah. It's known as onion capital. And what kinds of onions do you grow? Do you grow purple onions, yellow onions, or both?
Both.
Okay, very good. Which does better?
I like the yellow onion.
Uh-huh. All right, so that does better for you. You know what I find very fascinating about this whole issues of onions? When I was younger, years ago, the purple onions were like exotic. So they cost more. But when you go and get onions these days, you're getting both for the same price.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is very good. All right, let me bring Ramon in. Ramon, what production challenges were you facing before you introduced Newport-Fersan's booster line of fertilizers to your program? Because I hear that's what you use.
Yes, that is what I use. Most of the time when we hear the yield that we're supposed to get, we don't reach that range, right? So for an example, we're supposed to get 30,000 pound of onion or 30,000 pound of watermelon would reach probably 25,000 pounds. And we had that issue and we couldn't tell exactly what was causing it until Newport-Fersan step in.
All right. And what difference has it made overall to the production and your productivity?
Yes, so as I said, the issue was the amount, the weight per acre.
Right.
So using the booster line, it actually went up some more because one of the major issue is applying our regular fertilizer that we normally do. The fertilizers lack micronutrients and so forth. So applying the booster line, now with have all the micronutrients that the plant needed to take up the big macronutrients, the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Yes, it helps to boost it.
Okay.
Tremendously.
All right, making a big difference in terms of how much you're able to get out of your plot of land. I thank you both for this morning, and I am looking forward to more conversation with you. I hear that both of you have been contributing to the significant amount of crops that we're seeing out there in the market these days, and I thank you for that, because what it means is that you have all answered the call to produce more to make up for what was being lost in other parts of the island. Thank you both.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
All right, Sajae, let me come back to you. How has Newport-Fersan, your team of agronomists, been aiding farmers in crafting their strategic approach to onion production? I think you've already given us some information, but what else can you add?
Well, what we can do is let's just round it up in terms of what we've been seeing and discussing since the start of the conversation. Taking in consideration the land prep, the seeding selection and planting time, and the major diseases. Right now, all of these together, we can put under our field appraisal tool, which we know that you are no stranger to hearing about. And
not at all.
or here, no. But this tool is very wide, and it encompasses a lot of things. So when it comes on to the land preparation, as I said before, we want to ensure that the weeds are reduced using the steel bed technique, which allows the weed removal and reduces competition. We want to ensure that we improve the soil structure and that it can promote root development and thereby encouraging nutrient uptake to be more smooth, as you'll have more root area. We want to ensure that we manage the drains. We are using the raised beds where necessary to prevent waterlogging and bulb rot. Now, this is a point that I want to pause on, because as far back as I can remember, I have never seen this much rainfall in January. So this point is very important, as with climate change now, it's unpredictable. So you may have been saying that, well, a lot of rainfall is not going to fall this year, so I don't have to spend that extra time and our money preparing the beds this way. Well, I'm saying to you that you may want to think about spending that extra time and our money to prepare your land, whether it be for onions or any other crop. Prepare your lands properly to combat climate change. The next point would be to reduce disease pressure, removing the residue and improving the aeration, which limits the fungal growth and pathogens. Then ensure that your seedlings are uniform, using the onion planters where applicable to plant your onions. We want to think of the seed selection, as I said before, selecting the right seeds which have good disease resistance and planting them in the correct planting time in terms of month for planting. ensuring that your seeds have good disease resistance, good germination and vigor. Use high quality seeds if you can to ensure that you have strong, uniform crop establishment, which will aid with your bulb size and reduce early disease susceptibility. Now, when it comes on to the major disease aspect, we want to think about IDM. Now, notice I didn't say IPM, but I said IDM. Now, IDM is integrated disease management. It's a holistic approach to controlling plant diseases that combines multiple compatible methods rather than relying on a single control method like chemical controls.
Okay.
The goal is to reduce disease incidence by minimizing crop loss and lowering production costs.
All right.
And it protects the environment at the same time.
Well, might I suggest, Sajae, that you all do an entire show on IDM, because I think it is important. We're also unfortunately out of time, but this is really good information that you have provided this morning, because it demonstrates the importance of having both an IDM program and an IPM program, because that can make a huge difference in the outcomes. Thank you so very much.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
All right. Always a pleasure. Sajae Jones there, and he's agronomist out of Manchester and St. Elizabeth with Newport-Fersan, Jamaica. The preceding feature was brought to you by Newport-Fersan, Jamaica, first on the land.